So in today's lecture we will be learning about the propagation of light through optical fiber. Already we have seen the optical fiber is a thin conductive which makes the light to flow through it, and the amount of light accepted by the fiber and propagated by the fiber, it depends upon the acceptance angle of that fiber and again the numerical aperture of the fiber. So in today's lecture we will be deriving the expression for acceptance angle and numerical aperture. Just to save the time, we have already drawn the diagram. If you look at the diagram, this is the optical fiber, this is axis of optical fiber, and around that axis you have core region with refractive index N1 and cladding region with refractive index N2. Always the condition to be satisfied for optical fiber is N1 greater than N2. This condition should always be satisfied. Now, let us assume that the ray of light is incident into the fiber from the front region. This region will be called as launch zone, and this ray is incident at the axis of fiber at an angle of incidence theta I. So we have already written theta I. It is the angle of incidence of the light made with the axis of fiber. Then naturally this light is diffracted along AB and it is making angle of refraction, that is theta R. We have mentioned incident ray, we have also mentioned refracted ray. So this refracted ray which enters into the optical fiber, now it is striking at point B. You can see it is striking the core cladding interface at an angle of incidence phi, and if phi is equal to or greater than phi c, which is critical angle, then the total internal reflection of light will happen. In this condition, now we have to find out the expression for acceptance angle. So we will start deriving that expression, and for that reason, initially we have to apply Snell's law at point A. So we will be writing down applying Snell's law. At entry point, that is at point A. Theta I is angle of incidence, theta R is angle of refraction. So it will be your sin theta I by sin theta R is equal to, come on, speak out, N 1 by
N2
N0. Put this as equation 1. This is equation 1. Now, look at the diagram again. If you increase this theta I like this, you don't draw it, I am drawing. You increase the value of theta I, then what happens? Phi drops below phi c. So if theta I is increased beyond certain limit, phi drops to the value which is less than phi c, and total internal reflection will not happen. Hopefully you are getting my point, even if it is going on this way. So what you have to write down, the maximum value of theta I, these dots I will be removing, maximum value of theta I can occur, that means theta I is equal to theta I max when phi is equal to phi c. So you can increase theta I to that extent only where phi should not drop below phi c. So theta I max, this angle of incidence, can be increased to this value because phi should not drop below phi c. What is phi now? Phi is angle of incidence made by refracted ray at the core cladding interface. Okay. So if we put in the values, what you will get in this equation 1, you can just see sin theta R. We will consider this triangle ABC, and in this triangle ABC, what will be sin theta R? Sin 90 minus phi. We want in terms of trigonometry only, so sin theta R is equal to sin 90 minus phi. Okay. This value we will put in the above equation, but sin 90 minus phi, that happens to be, no, speak up. is equal to cos phi in equation 1, and you get sin theta I by cos phi is equal to n1 by n0. Sin theta I can be equal to sin theta I max if what phi is equal to phi 6. You are getting my point? We have already written the maximum value of angle of incidence can occur only when phi becomes equal to or greater than phi 6. त्यापेक्षा जास्त if we are increasing the angle of incidence, we don't try to write down in a hurry, we will do that. So if we increase angle of incidence beyond the limit, look at the figure. This ray will go straight and this angle will be decreasing, phi will decrease. So we don't want that. For that reason, the maximum value of theta I is theta I max when phi is equal to phi c. Put these values in above equation. Put theta I max for theta I and phi for phi c. What do you get? Sin theta I max is equal to n1 by n0 into cos phi c. Put this as equation number say 2. Hopefully this is clear. Now apply Snell's law. At point B, look into your figure. Where is point B? This is the interface of core and cladding. Now we have to apply our Snell's law at point B. Angle of incidence is that is equal to phi c. We have already proved that. And angle of refraction is 90 degree. So it will be your sin phi c by sin 90 is equal to, come on speak out, n2 by n1. Sin 90 is 1. This sin 90 is 1, so we can write down sin phi c is equal to n2 by n1. Put this as equation 3. Is that okay? Now from equation 3, what will be cos phi c? It's a basic trigonometry wherein you can think of the equation sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Then sin phi c is n2 by n1. Cos phi c will be equal to 1 minus n2 square by n1 square. That will be equal to under root n1 square minus n2 square by n1. Is that right? Just put the next equation number to this. This will be the equation number 4. This is okay up to this point. It is okay to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So cos phi c, we know that cos phi c value we will put in equation 2. So put for cos phi c in equation 2 and simultaneously we will reduce the complexity by saying let theta I max is equal to theta 0. Theta I max is equal to theta 0. So we will put the value sin theta 0 is equal to n1 by n0 into cos phi c, this value, into under root n1 square minus n2 square by n1. You can see what is sin theta 0 now? This value under root n1 square by n2 square square minus n2 square by n0. Now n0 काय आहे? n0 is refractive index of launching medium. Say if we are launching our signal from air, n0 will be equal to 1. So you can write it down before this equation. You can write down for air medium. For air, n0 is equal to 1. Therefore, sin theta 0 will be equal to n1 square minus n2 square, or theta 0 is equal to sin inverse under root n1 square minus n2 square. Now what is this theta 0? This is the maximum angle of incidence for which total internal reflection happens. Theta 0 is theta I max. We have written somewhere this one. So theta 0 is called acceptance angle. And what is this acceptance angle? This acceptance angle is the maximum angle of incidence for which the light is totally internally reflected. You are getting my point? If your rays are going beyond acceptance angle, the light will not be accepted by the fiber. That's what I think, and depending upon this acceptance angle, suppose this is your optical fiber. In short, I will try to draw. This is the axis, and what you can say, this is the fiber. You have then cladding region also. This theta 0 is acceptance angle, and three-dimensionally if we think of this acceptance angle, then the fiber which is having the cone having full angle 2 theta 0 will accept the light and will propagate the light through it. So the cone with the cone with full angle 2 theta 0, it is called as acceptance cone. Three-dimensionally, if you imagine this is your optical fiber and this is the axis of optical fiber. Now around this axis, all light rays three-dimensionally, theta 0, theta 0, theta 0, theta 0. So this is the cone with full angle 2 theta 0. Axis to this side theta 0 and this side theta 0. So this cone is called acceptance cone. All light rays contained within this acceptance cone, they will be accepted by the fiber and they will be transmitted by the fiber. Okay. So hopefully this concept is clear to you. Stop.